welcome back to my channel. I am doing a 2025 basically yearly wrap of everything that has happened, what I've done, and goals that I have for next year as well. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. Recording this again because I ran out of storage and it deleted half of the video. I was like, but that's okay. I was like, it happens, just redo it. Okay, so for the big moments that happened this year was I finally traveled out of the States, outside the country. So I have not traveled out since probably freshman year of high school. So I finally renewed my passport, which took forever. That was a whole ordeal in itself, but I still went. I still got it, finally. It was kind of expensive because I kept messing it up. And anyways, it was a disaster. I went to Canada, and some few other places that I've been to this year was Chicago, Washington. Oh, and I have my notes over here. So I know what I'm talking about and don't go on a million different topics of tangents. So I went to Washington, DC, all over the place in Texas, and then California. I had 2 conventions that I went to this year. One in California for LULAC, and then one here for TAPCUSPA. And so those are always fun. I love going to conferences to meet different people, to go to, although it can be very tiring, by the way, to go meet different perspectives, classes. That's always fun. The only thing that's tiring about conferences is that it's back to back and you have to wake up early. Don't know how, but I've never been the morning person. Even though I try, I just can't for some reason. I think it's been that way since forever. Since high school, I've always been like a night owl, but hopefully that's something I can work on. Next thing that I did this year was getting back into content creation. And so for some contents, I used to content create a couple years back, just doing like fun makeup videos. It was like a side hobby thing. That was pretty fun. I did get some experience with like posting on a different platform, and then they paid me a little bit per month, and then when they stopped, I just took off all my content. And so I kind of still did it because I really enjoyed like taking videos, doing transitions, like me and CapCut. I love like CapCut videos, using templates and stuff like that, and then posting. And so I've been off and on, to be honest with that. And a lot of times I just privated my account because I was like, you know, when you work education, you just like, I worked with a lot with students and stuff, so I didn't want them to find my profile, and so it was privated. But now I'm back into it. It's only been like 5 months or so in. So honestly, I'm pretty new. Like, I'm learning a lot. Times have changed, to be honest, of how social media was like years back and then now. And so it's like a whole different ballpark. I've been trying to learn because it's a whole thing in itself with like recording, editing, making sure you're not messing up on grammatical errors, and with educational content, like making sure that I'm posting the right information. And yeah, can't please everyone, but there's that. Since then, I would say I'm still figuring out what I'm heading towards in the terms of like content creation, but at this moment I am posting college, like first gen-ish college readiness videos, and then I've kind of dived into recently this month into the more political side, and I've noticed a difference in like my viewership and things like that. And so what I would usually say like with friends and like discussion or even like class debates is like, it's kind of like integrating into my social media platforms now, especially with Instagram, because that's where I'm the most active. So yeah. Next thing that I have achieved this year is 75% done with my master's. So yeah, that went by freaking fast. I'm almost there to the finish line. I'll be officially done hopefully by the summer, and that's pretty exciting. I know I was looking back at my account because sometimes I like to do like a memory walk lane of life. And so I went down to like my Instagram and I posted a picture of when I finished my bachelor's, which was in 2022. And I remember in the caption I wrote something along the lines of like, graduated, I might go back, I might not. And I'm back in graduate school, which is crazy. Looking at myself now compared to like even a year or even like a couple years ago, it's like totally different. Before going to grad school, I was working full time straight out of undergrad. I didn't even know what I was going to do right after undergrad. I didn't know that the importance of like networking and connections and the power of network. Um, because you could have like the the harsh truth is that you could have a good degree, go to good school, you could do it all, but like if you don't know the right people or you don't connect or you don't make or build those relationships, then you're gonna have trouble finding a job after or whatever you're gonna do, no matter what field you're in. It's really important. I think I made a video on that as well, so go ahead and go watch it if you want. um and so I'm pretty excited, obviously, with graduating next year. I'm already thinking a little bit about what am I going to do? Am I working? Like, am I applying to? I am thinking about applying to PhD, so that's an option as well. So fingers crossed. I'll keep you guys updated. I know a few of you guys have like, I did like a poll on my story, have voted on um me explaining my graduate program degree, not degree, but like the process of being a graduate student, like how I got into it and stuff. And so I know I need to make a video on that. So that's probably upcoming next year or pretty soon. But I mean, there's always that question, which is a totally valid question. Is like, is a college degree even worth it? And so it really depends on like what you are trying to do, and especially for graduate school, people are like, do I want to go graduate school? It all depends on what you're gonna do with it. um I mean, don't go to school just for the sake of it without obviously doing your research and return on investment, things like that. It's the same thing, almost like, this is very simplified, but like it's almost the same thing as like a car. You're not gonna buy the first car you see. Like, obviously you're gonna do your research on it, how much loans you need to take out, or monthly payments, if any. They check your credit score, things like that. It's a process in itself, so you can't just like aimlessly do something without kind of having a forward direction. And you also need to know yourself in order to know what major you want to do, or what jobs or opportunities that college has or that field has. Next, the thing I want to talk about, since we are talking about my 2025 recap, is my vision board. So over here, I actually made my 2026 vision board with my friend a couple weeks ago. But this one is my second vision board. I made two vision boards for 2025 because the first one was really broad. I made it also December, I believe. I believe December as well in 2024. I made it with another friend. I always love doing like vision board dates, and just hang out and just like lock in of like what we want for next year and like really think about it. And so for this one, I made it really in depth. As you can see, you can even barely see the pictures because I don't know if it's just what's in it with me, but I did a section for each one. And so you can see a bunch of pictures, but they're all in their own little department. And so I made one for like health, education, advocacy work, leadership, and to update it, I did like a section for content creation because I went back into it, and so just a overview, basically what I put on there and what actually happened. I'll probably add some pictures in the video too so you can see, but the first one is with my content creation. I was able to collaborate. Oh no, actually well, yeah, I don't know if it's collaborate or do a partnership. I don't even know how to word this, but it was an opportunity where they offered a content camp cohort. It was the first year doing it, so basically we were kind of like the pilot program of a advocacy nonprofit group where we created educational / healthcare content for them, and then we get money for doing that. And through the process we learn like how to create hooks, CTAs, which are call to actions, and create the video for them, which was pretty awesome. I didn't even know about this nonprofit until someone had told me, a friend that I met actually at a convention, which is pretty dope. 2 people reached out to me. It was one on LinkedIn and one on Instagram. They forwarded me the opportunity, and that's when I began. I think it was probably like, I don't even know, like probably like 2-ish months in, a month in. It wasn't that far in, and they sent me this opportunity, which I really love because it's like people are looking out for me. Like sometimes, like when I look at my metrics, I'm just like the video didn't do well, and I'm trying to learn that. Obviously, the metrics don't matter. It is kind of like what my intent of this account is, and like what I'm going to deliver, like what is the value that I'm going to bring, like in my post and in my content creation. And so I was really, what was the word? I was really grateful that people were thinking of me. They're like, oh, like she's a content creator, she's doing education too, like let me send her this opportunity. And I applied for it, and then I got in. And so this is your sign to whatever it is in life. Like it doesn't even, yeah, that's my ice maker. But whatever it is that you want to do in life, do it. Even if you don't even know what you're doing half of the time, because when I look back at some of my videos, which went long ago, I cringe. I'm just like, oh my gosh, like how did I, like, you learn as you go. And so I made a lot of mistakes. Everything from like the captionings were glitching. I posted a video and the captions started glitching for some reason. Hooks, I'm still learning as I go, so we'll see how far along I am with it by next year. Another portion of my vision board, I did like a little, I guess like motorsport section. And so I went to my first F1 race at the COTA station, at the COTA park. COTA. But I went there for the first time. I've been to that racetrack before, but not for Formula One. It was so busy. It was a lot of people, and it was really hot because it was in Austin, but it was fun. And so I went there and I sat in turn 1, which I think it was the best seats possible. I should have got it also on Saturday, but I just wanted to do it for one day because Saturday is when the McLaren cars like crashed. Yeah, that's when the cars crashed. And everyone's like, did you get footage? I'm like, no, like I'm in Austin, like going to like the pop-up stores and experiencing the different teams pop-up events. And so I just wanted to go one time to see what it was like, and next year I'll go 2 more days. I planned it better now that I know where to park, what to expect, what to bring, what to pack. It was so hot too. And so that was pretty exciting. Another thing would probably be for the political part was probably attending the conferences. I always connect. I've been to, I went to a state conference with LULAC, and then I went to a national conference. And both were really fun. I worked a lot with the youth and the state conference, and I met a couple of students from high school, college, graduated, working professionals, I don't know if I met retired professionals, but you just meet all different types of people, and it was just really nice connecting with people with pretty much not everyone, but a lot of them are like the same aligned missions, and so that's really great. They've connected with me on the internet, and I think that's just like such a nice thing about like this post economy. Social media can be a double-edged sword, but I think the one thing is that you can connect, and a lot of people nowadays are getting the news on the internet, which is a gray area because it is in the quick digital, media time, like a lot of misinformation can be spread apart, and that's why it's careful to, what you see online, you shouldn't believe it at face value. But on the bright side with social media, the amount of people that I've been able to connect with, still keep in touch, and people from like all over outside the States, which is pretty cool. Yeah. Also for content creation, I'm kind of off and on with YouTube. I'm trying to plan to be more active on here, especially more long form content, because I've noticed that I'm trying to delve deeper into like the history of education and like policies that has affected and shaped our education system today, and it's very complex, mind you, and so sometimes I think just like sitting down and like having my notes and talking about it would be more better. I've thought about it. Sometimes like when you're just like in bed like trying to sleep and just like that's a good video idea. I'm just like I should be asleep right now. But I thought to myself like what if I just teach you guys or explain to you guys what I've learned in my college experience and with students in my readings, like but like try to in almost like in layman's terms, trying to do it in layman's terms as much as possible and like explain it to you guys instead. And so I was like, that's probably good because I mean, not everyone is a higher ed major, and for my undergrad I did sociology, and so a lot of it is like writing essays, reading, and so not every major is going to have like the same type of experience or teachings. And so yeah, so that's on my to-do bucket list for next year. And then these are so many things that I am looking forward to for next year. So now looking over into 2026 is obviously graduating, and so I should be done by the summer. The second thing is my going to a conference. Me and a classmate submitted a proposal and we got accepted to a conference, and then we have to do a qualitative study, which is basically, so there's two different types of like main studies, which is qualitative and quantitative. So quantitative is more numbers, collected for data metrics, and then qualitative is like interviews, more personal stories, and so we decided to go to the qualitative. At this moment, just like I haven't done my own research, but like just hearing about it and reading like thousands of pages, I think qualitative is pretty nice because it gives you like a more personal view on the data. It's actual people's opinions and life experiences, and so we can do that. I'm pretty excited because I've never done my own research, and so it's gonna be a learning experience in itself. And by next year, hopefully I would make a video summarizing, telling you guys everything from like how to do a proposal, how to sign up for conferences, because everything's online. But these are the stuff that schools don't teach you, especially in high school. Like there's a lot of information that can be taught a lot, such as like financial literacy, video literacy, how to manage money, etc. That financial literacy. But yeah, I feel like there's still a lot of things that the education can improve on. Yeah, but I think I reminded myself last night, like, because I was making a video about the Brown versus Board of Education, and I was doing the math, and it was like only 71 years ago. And so if you put it into perspective, like education has not changed much. It looks different. some of the systematic oppressions and barriers are still there because it wasn't that long ago until everyone was able to have an equal opportunity to go to education. And so the work is still needing to be done in this lifetime and more. But see, I'm already on a tangent. straight away from where I needed to go. But looking forward to that and see how that changed over the years of my living experiences. Next that I do look forward to is obviously improving my content creation. I'm only like 5 months in, but there's still a long way to go. Hopefully I can build more opportunities and experience with this. And so I did sign up for a few things. And so waiting to hear back on that. And if I do, I will keep you guys updated. And then lastly, some personal goals that I am working towards that I put on my radar that I need to do for next year is meditation, focusing and continuing looking at my health and being more proactive in it as well. And then lastly is also working on my career trajectory, because who knows where life will take me next year. It's going to be a different change. I will be done with my master's. Am I working full-time? Am I going to go into PhD? Am I doing both? I have an idea where I want to go, but we just have to see where life takes me. And honestly, things come and go along the way. So excited to see what happens. And also watching back on this video as a recap and looking back on my vision board. A year sounds like long, but it goes by fast. I mean, this year went pretty fast, so we'll see how these vision boards come and what has happened, and recap everything when that comes in 2026. And yeah, and so that is it for my video of my yearly recap, my wrapped year, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. And as always, thank you for always watching my videos and commenting and liking. People have been like sending me messages, like DMs and stuff like that, like, oh, like this video really helped, like keep doing what you're doing, and just like words of like just like positive affirmations and like thank you for like what I'm posting, which is because it's kind of like, it's, you know, when most of the people around me, especially in higher ed and education, like we were like on the same wavelength, and it's because it's who, you know, they're all education majors, and so for them, me talking to them on a regular Tuesday is like something that not everyone has access to, or doesn't know. And so me posting like all this information online has really helped a couple of people, and I feel like that's kind of what I've continued to do after I left my first job, because my first job was academic advising, and so I help students like get into college, do financial literacy workshops, help apply to FAFSA. And so this is kind of like my continuation of it, but in a different format, which is social media now. And so yeah, pretty stoked to see how my social media will manifest and how that will tie into my career trajectory, because I told myself before I went like back into content creation is like, what is my niche, you know? That's always like the question of like what is your account about? And so I was like, I'm majoring in like this is literally my thought process. I was like, I'm majoring in education, I'm passionate about it, I'm political as well, because they both intersect, and so why not just do content creation on that, and then literally just follow you throughout your life, because I hope to plan to continue being in the education field no matter what that will look like. And so I was like, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. And so thank you for watching. I feel like that was a very long thank you, which meant on, but I hope you guys have a good happy holidays and New Year's, and don't forget also to make your vision board, because it really makes a difference whether you write it out, write down like actionable steps of like what you need to do. Like having a vision board helps you visualize. I mean, that's the point of it, but it helps you visualize what goals and what aspirations you have. And as specific as you can get. As you can tell, I use a lot of pictures. Be as specific as you can. Write it out, journal. Those are the things that really help you. And so don't forget to make your vision board. Don't forget to, always improve yourself. And thank you for watching as always. Bye, have a good one.